And we're back.
Here we are, episode 8.
Here we are. Yeah.
Hills and Twos.
Yep. I'm Shay.
I'm Tim. We are joined by the man of the NCAA right
The
now.
Marvelous.
Morgan Beadlescomb.
Infamous. Oh, we decided infamous.
No, infamous is a bad word,
All right.
Shay.
The stupendous. Okay.
We are joined by Morgan Beadlescomb, who, we're going to get right to it, has personal best of 147.85 in the 800, a full mile of 352.03, a 3K of 743.22, 5K of 1317.16, and a 2854 10K.
Yeah. So this range.
That is, we're going to go right from the gun right now, Morgan. Do you think you have the best range in the NCAA?
I've had this conversation with my coach, and, we'd argue Avdi Nur. He's got some pretty impressive PRs. So I think it's between us two.
He's got to run at 8. So
I don't know if he's running 147, Morgan.
Yeah,
Yep. No, he's not.
He is not, but I think his 15's a little bit quicker than mine. I think I got him in the mile. He's definitely got me in the 5K. But I got him in cross. So we go back and forth. It's a good little rivalry.
This leads to a conversation that we were having earlier. What could you run in a 4 right now, Morgan?
Ooh, so I was supposed to be in a 4x4. Actually, when I ran that 800, my coach had me in a 4x4 instead. So I think I could have split a 48.
That's what we were saying.
That was my guess. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I think I could have gotten in the 48s, but there's a lot of coulds.
There's always coulds. What are you planning on right now for the rest of the year? I know we got regionals coming up. What are you doubling, or you going all in on something?
5K, right?
5K?
Yeah.
Doubling didn't really pay off in indoor. That was a weird race. I know how I should have run it tactically, but I think I'm gonna go all in on the 5, and then save something for indoor or outdoor nationals. USA's.
Definitely.
Got a lot left, and I'm not gonna be able to take my foot off the gas like I was in March.
Awesome.
Yeah. One thing I want to ask was before XC Nats in Florida, or was it Oklahoma? I heard that you guys drink cherry juice and Gatorade for like the heat. Why cherry juice?
Oh no, we drank cherry juice to recover from workouts.
Oh, it's after workouts.
Yeah. We drink Gatorade mixed. Do you guys know what Gatorlights are? They're like little electrolyte packets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just drank that mixed with Gatorade, and then we had cherry juice after workouts, and sometimes after a run. Depends on how long the run was, but that was more recovery, and then Gatorlights stay hydrated.
Okay.
What do you think the best recovery tool that you use is? Post-workout, post-race, whichever it is.
Yeah, I'm a real sucker for those Fireflies. I know I'm sponsored by them, but I really got sponsored by them because I love them.
That's fun.
And they're so simple, and it's so easy to use. But of course, I always stick to rolling, and I don't know, everybody's got a lacrosse ball or something in their bag. It's easy to get, the calves, hamstrings, feet, whatever you need to roll, taken care of. And then, worst case scenario, I pretty much always have a little pair of those Fireflies in my bag, even at work.
Yeah. Did
you use Firefly, that specific brand, before you got the sponsorship? Because I saw the sponsorship online.
Yeah. So I used them at the trials. I didn't actually hear about them before the trials. And then my coach met them at some golf outing, met the sales rep at a golf outing. And they're my coach just comes to practice. He's like, Morgan, try these. You're the only one still racing. Just try these and let me know if we should buy them. And I'm like, okay. So I just threw them on. And then I really liked the way that they made my legs feel after a flight. And I was like, oh, nice. So I just started using them, and then I'm like, hey, are we buying them? And they're like, no, we barely got budget for Gatorade. So I just emailed the guy, and I'm like, hey, don't know if my coach is going to buy this stuff or not, but I like your brand. So
have you used the Normatex?
They sent me 3 pair, and they're like, yeah, do some Instagram posts.
Nice.
Have you used the Normatex at all?
Yeah. I've we used to use those all the time.
How would you compare the Firefly to Normatex?
They're much less cumbersome, and especially to set up, it's so much easier. But yeah, I mean, the feeling that you get immediately after you stand up in the Normatex, it's like you can tell that they did something, like when you sit on a wall or
The blood rushes
Yeah,
down.
you can feel like that almost like burning sensation in your legs.
yeah, and then you get that blood rush as soon
Yeah.
as you stand up. Yeah, you know that it did something. And the fireflies, it takes a little bit to walk around. Like you get a little tingling feeling, and then once that goes away, you're like, oh, nice. This worked. Um, and yeah, the feeling is a little bit different. I read the paper, like the paper that they were based on, and all the research that it was based on, and like they're apparently 3 times more effective than the Normatex at
Wow.
producing blood flow.
Jeez.
And I was like, oh geez. And yeah, I mean I can wear them on airplanes, like
Yeah.
buses.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
But you
clutch.
can't do that
got to
with
look into
Normatex.
those for
Yeah,
sure.
our house might be making a purchase pretty soon.
Yeah.
Dude, they are so cheap too. Like compared to the Normatex, the name brand and the Hyper Ice stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a code or something
God,
for the Fireflies?
What's that?
Do you have a code or something?
I'm gonna plug you
Like
right
Yeah,
now.
Beatles
I
going
think it's in
15.
my bio. If it doesn't work, just like text me and I'll send it
Let's
out.
go.
I gotta
Alright.
if it doesn't work, let me know so I can update it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love those things. I put them on the bus, and like if you see me in an airport, odds are I just have them on under my pants, like just around because they go under your knees. So they go around your knees. So I just got them on under my pants, and like nobody knows until my leg starts twitching when I'm sitting down.
Till you hop in
Yeah.
TSA with them on, and all of a sudden you're getting patted down in the back room because they
Oh
think
yeah,
you're strapped.
just throw me in the back room.
All right.
So something we've been doing a lot is getting into like listener questions. I don't want to say fan because that sounds cringy.
Yeah.
Like listener questions for each of our guests. So you kind of before we get going, we'll see what they had to say. So one of these, I think the wording of this one is my favorite. What made you want to flip the switch from being good to really good? I don't know if that's
To want
Yeah.
to be good. Yeah, no, I always strive for motor or mediocre, and then I'm like, this is boring, and just decided to be good one day.
Yeah.
Nah, it was I don't know. It was just a few good races that I had. I'm assuming their question is like, when did you get good?
Yeah. That was my assumption as well.
Yeah, it's like I just got thrown into a couple races where I was a little bit over my head. I think the first one I was like put in a 5K with Peter Seufer, and I wasn't expected to win. That Alabama had a couple of guys there. It was an indoor race in Iowa, and they're like, yeah, just try and compete. My coaches just told me to compete. Like your PR is 13:47. They're gonna pace for 13:40. Like just start slow and move up. And I wound up winning and running a 13:31, like 16 seconds from my outdoor time. And I'm like, hey, this is a pretty good day.
Did you
It's
think you had a
alright.
shot
And
at okay?
What's
Did
that?
you think you had so that was the year that COVID happened, right, for NCAAs?
Yeah.
Did you think you had a shot at
Yeah.
the 5K title?
Honestly, I don't think I did, because it was like it was at altitude. I'd never run at altitude. Like, I don't know. I might have been saved some embarrassment. Looking back, knowing what it takes now, compared to what I had in me back then, like, I definitely was not in the same shape. Never run at altitude. Like, I had that one really good race. I got by Big Tens. I won Big Tens kind of by the skin of my teeth. I just had a lot of growing up to do as it pertained to like those championship races, and I think I've done that since then. But maybe an outdoor, I think I would have had much better shot. And we also we kind of just train through indoor. We don't really taper a whole lot. We'll taper for like 4 days. We'll come off the weekend, and like Sunday you take a Sunday off or trot around for 20 minutes, and then you just drop your mileage for the week of and do a light workout, and like that's your taper for indoor. So it's a much different. Yeah.
I saw you tweeted like you said mileage is arbitrary. Do you think so? How does that like fit into that like tapering thing?
Also, what is your mileage now?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
also
get a
curious.
mileage number and then an answer.
God, I know my Strava isn't right because I'll just like go and trot around, or like I won't set my GPS and it just guesses. So if my Strava isn't really accurate, I normally keep it around 85 to 90. Cross country, I like hit low hundreds. But it's more like what work do you need to do and how do you fit that in? that's what our plan is. We do have a mileage number. Like my coach wants me to go between 85 and 90 miles. But it's more like, okay, that's the number we come to from designing your workouts, designing your base runs, recovery days, like what do you need to run when, and then we have a range. It's not I need to hit 90 miles. Let's fill that gap. Let's fill that space. Um, it and then on Sundays, like Sundays are our recovery day. Uh, yeah, it's like we meet mileage needs, but if I'm feeling like I run for an hour, I run for an hour. If that's 7 miles, it's 7 miles. If it's 10 miles, it's 10 miles. Whatever I need to do, it doesn't really matter. Um, and yeah, it is arbitrary. It's a good metric for understanding how much work you're doing. Um, but I go on 20-minute runs like every morning just to shake my legs out. I definitely count that in mileage, whatever I get. Those are the days I most of the time shut my GPS off. And it's just, yeah, it's like, okay, this is about how much I did. I'll count it as 2.5, 3 miles, whatever.
Yeah, so you're saying like mileage and training isn't that specific number. I feel like people very often fall victim to the like, oh, my coach says I need to run 90 miles this week. Well, I need to hit 90 miles.
Yeah, I fall victim to that, bro.
Yeah, I know you
it's
have.
me.
But you're more so saying that training is like the way to sufficiently train is to do what your body needs you to do, or to fill the gaps that you need to fill. It's not like saying if I run 90 miles a week this week, is what specifically is gonna make me better. There might be other things that make you better.
Yeah, I think the biggest part of being good at running is follow whatever program you're on. If you have a coach that's like, you need to do this, don't listen to me. Just don't. I don't know you. I don't know your training. Yeah, like don't listen to me. I don't know that much. So that's number one. But the way that we train, and if there's somebody trying to coach themselves, um, trying to coach like some high school kid trying to coach themselves, doesn't have a distance coach on their team, yeah, mileage is a good metric to understand how much work you put in. It should be more of a retrospect number. Like I did this last week. Not I'm trying to do this week. Your weekly plan should be based on what kind of workouts you want to do and what kind of base runs you feel like make you feel good or feel fit. Recovery runs. How much time do you need to recover? Do you need to split that work up? Like that kind of thing.
I think that fits in well with another question someone asked was, what have you learned from running?
God, I've learned so much, mostly since like 2020, just how my mind operates. That would be like the number one thing is just like how to control my own headspace. Because of course since then it's like I stopped running with headphones, which sounds insane when you go 100 miles a week. But the biggest thing I learned is like how to control my own thoughts and not let myself spiral when I'm alone on these runs, on these long runs, without any music to like zone out to. I mean, also you learn how to avoid injury. You learn to, you learn to assess when you're sick pretty easily. I don't know if anybody else has found that, but like I can tell in my runs when I'm getting sick before I can tell when I'm like sitting around getting sick.
Yeah.
So just being able to self-assess is a huge part of running. Of course, the discipline is there. Every college athlete, we can't skip runs. We can't skip workouts, can't skip lifts, or it's detrimental to training unless like you need a day off, and then you can, to take one. That is your work for the day to relax. So cutting corners isn't really an option for us.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because I would argue that running, more so than any other sport, is like the one sport where you spend the most amount of time inside of your own head in a day, like doing something that's difficult, putting your body through pain, but you're the only thing that's there most of the time.
Yeah, and it's not like football. It's a 3.5 hour game, 3 hour game, but you're checking in with your teammates every 30 seconds to a minute at most.
Yeah,
We're on warm-ups. We're on warm-ups, cooldowns for an hour, whatever, running sometimes by ourselves, most of the time not really talking too much. Um, and then the races themselves, the longer your races, the more self-assessing you have to do and the more time you spend in your own headspace without a coach. So like my main race is 13 minutes long, but what other athlete doesn't talk to a coach or doesn't have a conversation about their sport for 13 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of transitioning here. This is a question that I think was probably maybe the best one.
Great
This
question.
was from Sam Parsons. Would you rather beat Abdi in a 5K or Mario in the 1500 at NCAAs?
I mean, I guess we're kind of finding that right now.
Yeah,
Like,
About to find out.
that was a choice I had
That's
to make.
easy.
And it wasn't an easy choice at all. Like, yeah, I went back and forth about it for a while. We really took it down to the wire deciding what we wanted to do. And I have so much respect for both of those guys. Like, Mario is wicked fast off of any pace. He can close in a 25. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what race it is.
Yeah.
He can close in a 25 off of a 408 mile, which we saw, or he can close in a 25 and run a 336.15 and just, yeah, drop Iliad Kipsang.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not an easy guy to
He
run
is
away from.
crazy like speed
He's
right
nuts.
now.
But I don't know. I think your positioning on the last lap, I think you could have got him if you were like positioned like a little better on that last lap for indoor.
Oh yeah, I mean 400 to go, 600 to 400 to go. I was running like an idiot. Like, I had amazing positioning and I just gave it up. It might have been a different race, but like that's part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with racing. There's always going to be pieces of a race when you go back and watch that you can nitpick, that you can pull stuff out. And it can be the most direct reason why you think you lost, or it can be something minor.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I've nitpicked that race a lot.
Have you enjoyed
can
coming?
kinda see-
Oh, sorry. I keep cutting off. Sorry. Have you enjoyed like coming down in distance from the 5K to the mile recently?
I enjoy not being a one-trick pony.
Yeah. I like
You know,
that.
my 1500 before I started running 5Ks was not that great. I ran like a 330 or 346 my freshman year. And I wasn't like crazy good at those fast 15s. And then I was 11th in our conference. I made the final barely, and then I was like 11th. So my coach Drenth was like, "Yeah, we think you're a 5K guy. You'll just do a couple like sit and kick 15s, no rabbits, just to tune up." And then all of a sudden, Simino, the new coach, the new distance coach, was like, "Let's put you in an 800. Let's just see what happens." And I ran 148, and I'm like, we saw what happened. Like, just be patient and try to kick them down the last 200. And that's exactly what I did. It's like, hey, you might be better at something other than the 5K. And then the mile indoor, it was like Cooper, I think his coach called like last second to get me into that race. And I guess I didn't disappoint.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask, what is that experience like? What was that specific race like? And also, what did you think of the track? Because we raced there as well. It was an interesting track.
I like that track. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's really steep. It's really steep." I liked it.
The turns were so long. That was the thing. And you're a bigger guy too. Those turns are long. You're leaning the whole time. I think there was less of the steepness and more of the long turns, short straights.
Yeah. I really didn't notice them. I was mostly like focused on Cooper and Cole's back, just like, don't let him get away, don't let him get away, don't let him drop me.
Yeah. You made a move.
I didn't think about it too much.
Yeah, what was going through your mind when you made the move on them there? Like, this was a race you were pulled into for them to go try to break the American record, and all of a sudden you find yourself there with 400 to go, ready to make a move.
So going in the last 200, I felt my kick leaving. You get that feeling where your legs get heavy and you're like, now or never. So, I mean, I've never been a guy to think about who I'm racing. So I've just got that now or never feeling and instinctively just went. Obviously it didn't work, but it was a cool try.
It was a cool try. It was a really cool
awesome,
try. You gained a lot of fans that day, I'd say. I feel like
yeah, I feel like I was that meme where like it's the guy screaming and like shooting champagne and he's just in third place. I was literally third place.
That's funny.
This is another good question. What race has brought you the most fulfillment this year and why?
Oh, that mile. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Between that mile and the NCAA mile, just because like everybody was telling me, oh, he's gonna go to the front. He's got to go to the front. He's got to make it fast. It's got to be a fast race for him to compete. He's a 5K guy. He's got to compete, off a kick. Or you can't compete off of a kick. And then I did.
There we are.
So,
Shows you got range. That range is opening up. What are you most looking forward to in your professional career? And when did you really know, like in your head, you're like, I'm going pro now. It's not a question.
well, I quit a job. I had a good engineering job lined up before the trials, and then when I made it to the trials, I called them and I'm like, hey, yeah, I won't be showing up. It was down in South Carolina. Like it was, yeah, with Michelin, great job lined up. They were gonna pay for like part of my grad school, I think, and yeah, it was a good gig. And after that, I'm like, yeah, I think I want to do this a lot more. And
Because you said it was Michelin. Were cars something you've always been into? Because I saw that you've been building motorcycles for a while, right?
yeah, no, I really enjoy cars. I really like motors. Just I got a degree in engineering so that I could work on cars. I worked for Ford. I did a summer internship with Ford. I really liked them. Um, yeah, I really really enjoy the automotive world. I am building a motorcycle still. I'm trying to find an electric motor for it. Um, yeah, no, I have a car that I'm built. It works. It runs. It's fun to drive. It's just a work in progress.
What kind of car?
Yeah,
Yeah. What kind of car is it?
the BMW M3.
Oh
I bought an
shit!
E46.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, I got a 2003 BMW M3. It's got 197,000 miles on it, and it'll still do 150.
How much
Shit.
did you get it for?
I think I paid like 6,500 for it.
Awesome.
This thing is like, my girlfriend hit it with her car. Um, she backed into it, dented the door. Like the hood was dented when I got it. I had to put a new hood on it. I put a carbon fiber hood on it. It's a convertible, so like the top's falling apart, and like I'm trying to get a hard top for it, but there's like a couple hundred of them in the US. Um yeah, no, it is a work in progress, to put it lightly. I had to get new wheels because the wheel was broken, leaking. Like,
Have
yeah,
you always been
it's
like
a
a BMW fan? Is that something you've been trying to do for a while?
I've been an M3 fan. I love the E46. I love that early 2000s model. After like Need for Speed Most Wanted, that's what the main car was, and I'm like, I want one of those. So yeah, I love those cars. I like German cars in
Yeah,
general.
I should have
Shay's
called
more
him
of
up.
a Shay's more of a Porsche guy. He's not really a
Yeah.
Beamer guy here.
I should have called you. I bought a Boxster. It was like a 2003 Boxster, and the engine was like toast. I should have called you up.
We pulled this thing out of the place where he bought it, and it's
Yeah.
a little two-seater in there. The hood's up, and there's no ventilation whatsoever. Whole car starts smoking. The whole, like, just the box that we're in just starts pouring out with smoke when we drive off of the lot with this thing.
Let me just say, I test drove it for like a while, and that thing was
A
ripping.
while
it was
is
fine.
maybe 2.5 minutes as I sat and waited while you and Parker
It was,
test drove it.
it was a while, and then as soon as we got off the lot, it started smoking.
We pulled over a block later, had to get it towed.
Same thing happened with my Beamer. Do not.
Perfect.
It was like an hour and a half down the road. I pulled off the lot. I bought it in Virginia Beach. Pulled off the lot. I'm driving down the highway. It's smoking. Turns out, drain plug was loose when they changed the oil. Some idiot didn't tighten it all the way. But like, obviously,
That's a good problem to have,
Yeah,
though,
his
compared
thing
to the
was
engine.
inoperable and never
I'm, like,
worked
freaking out.
again.
I'm like, what the hell?
No, but I sold it
just
for
spent-
parts to this guy in New York. So I
He
got,
sold it like 6 days later.
yeah, it's a stressful 6 days, but it's a
I
good
almost
learning
bought a
experience.
Boxster.
Really?
Before I bought my M3. I was considering it. Yeah. No, I love those cars. The little
They're
flat
so
four.
cool. I love the silver ones.
So when you think about like life outside of running, what is that for you? And what is it post running also for you?
I mean, I did just get my master's in electrical engineering, so I'm gonna try to stay in that realm. But no, I mean, obviously, I work on cars. I got a lot to do. I try to stay busy outside of running. Just I know if I'm only running, my head will explode. I'll just do too much. Um, I think it's good that I have distractions, just so if I'm getting some aches or pains, I don't overwork them, or like, I don't know, just collapse in on myself trying to nitpick races. Uh, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with cars, stick with the engineering field, try and get some like part-time job or just somebody I can help, some private engineer I can help out, professional engineer, and yeah, be boring, be a nerd.
So that's what you'd want to
Fun.
do while professional running? Because like we know, I mean, Rob similarly, had a job also outside of running. Is that something you'd want to do while you're still running?
Yeah, I think so. I'm working in a lab right now. I've been working on campus all year, and it's not crazy difficult to juggle. Like, I don't know. My boss is awesome, so he really tolerates me leaving for days at a time, half the week, and just working on my own, and just trust that stuff gets done, which is awesome. And yeah, it does get done. So
Is there, I mean, you probably don't want to answer this because I was going to say, is there a dream company that you'd want to go with after this year? But, yeah, that's probably unanswerable at the moment. But I'm sure we'll find out in a few months.
yeah, no, you'll find out soon.
Before
But
USA is
no,
probably.
I haven't like come across anybody where I'm just like, I really hate you
That's good.
in the pro realm, where like every decision I've had to make, um whether it pertains to teams or agents or companies, it's been really tough because like everybody's pretty genuine and really nice, and they all want to help you out. I mean, some want to help you out for different reasons, uh, but all most of them have your best interests in mind. And like, yeah, I think pretty much everybody that I've talked to so far has given has given me reason to want to go with them.
It's good. That's awesome to hear that. I mean, it sounds like there's plentiful options there. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So now that, being a professional runner is something that's at the forefront of your future, what do you think about the whole concept of that you have to build a brand around yourself and you have to help market yourself while you're competing as well?
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible. I mean, we don't do a lot of work. Like, um, but also it's on these companies to provide us with like photographers or videographers or just somebody to keep track of what we're doing, because while we're running and while we're practicing, I don't want to have to carry a phone on me. I don't want to have to carry a camera. I don't mind doing, I love doing stuff like this. Like anybody who asks me to come on a podcast, I don't care how new it is or like nobody watches it or if it's huge, like the Citius Mag podcast. I don't care. I love doing anything like this in my free time. But I think it's up to the companies to show what we do in competition and in practice. Um, and as long as there's a good balance, which right now I don't think there is for a lot of companies and a lot of teams, um, then yeah, I like it. I like the concept of us being responsible for our own brand outside of running and outside of practice or in competition. But yeah, we need help. I mean, even NCAA athletes, right? Like, I mean, pretty much every track and field athlete that I talk to is like, yeah, we only get photographers for a couple meets. Um, we were told last year to like start taking pictures and bring our phones to practice so that we could get media coverage. That's
Wow,
That is
that's
absurd.
crazy.
So on that, why Michigan State? How'd you arrive there?
Oh, the coach, Drenth was awesome. Uh, I mean, he's just the way his brain works is just unlike anything else I had seen. He's an amazing coach. I really fit in with the guys. They're just a bunch of really hardworking guys. Like none of us were really studs in high school. Um, we'll get a Foot Locker guy every once in a while. Like we got Riley Ho next year, and God, everybody's so excited about that kid. I don't know if you know who that is. Michigan high school kid,
Yeah,
one
yeah,
Foot Locker.
yeah.
Just yeah, absolute stud, but really uncommon. And everybody's just there. They want to work really hard, and most of us don't see a career in running because our backgrounds, our family backgrounds, don't allow for it. Um, so we just enjoy it while we have it, and we work really hard in school. And yeah, we just want to win races and then continue on with our lives. Um, Again, I'm a rare case. Justin Kippertich is another rare case. He wound up going professional. But yeah, those guys just work really really hard.
That's
And
interesting. It's cool
they're
to
a lot
see.
of fun to be around.
It's cool to see that, like, I don't know. Usually everyone that's running in college wants to go pro. It's interesting to see a team that maybe knows it's not for them just based on whatever family background, whatever, and they still like are going for it every day.
Yeah, no, that's what I loved. I absolutely loved it because it's not this toxic culture of like trying to compete for the best contracts or trying to compete to like show each other up. Well, not for the best contracts. We're just jerks. Like we just, yeah, that's why we do it. Is this like a PG-13 or I don't know?
No, you
not
say
at
whatever
all.
you want
Not
here.
at all.
Okay, thank God. No, we fuck with each other every day. It is awesome. There's just so much back and forth. Like it's relentless, and that's the only reason we want to beat each other. That's it.
That's funny.
It's not that we don't want to run professionally, and it's there if you want to do it and you can do it. The opportunity is there. Absolutely. It has not been a difficult process for me to transition so far. Just because everybody around us is so knowledgeable and the running community is so willing to help you. But we're just spiteful people, and I love it.
I love that. I like that perspective there. That
Yeah.
leads me, speaking of kind of joking around a little bit, one last listener question, because we forgot this one, was who is your mom's favorite Twitter account?
Oh God. That's from Track Jeans.
There you go.
Yes.
Track Jeans asked the question, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my mom met him out at the trials.
That's funny.
I think they might have gotten a picture together.
That's funny.
But he definitely took a bunch of pictures of me with my mom, and yeah.
Is Track Jeans still not supposed to be?
I don't know.
Is it known yet? Like, do you know?
Yeah.
Like, we know the individual name, but I don't know if that's public knowledge.
I think he's anonymous right now still.
Has he done a face reveal?
I knew. Oh, this is gonna make me sound like a jerk. I'm terrible with names. I knew his name when I was in Oregon, but I haven't like talked to him in so long.
Starts with a D.
pretty
I'll
sure
say
you-
that.
Oh, he's dropping hints now.
So Twitter, go crazy. Find him. It starts with a D.
Are you more of an
No.
Instagram or a Twitter guy, Morgan?
Instagram is just so much. I get so many more memes on Instagram. Twitter's too serious for me.
Twitter can be funny if you like cultivate the right following
Algorithm,
Yeah,
whatever.
if you get your algorithm to be
Yeah.
right.
Get that thing locked
I go on
in.
Twitter for jokes. Twitter's my happy place.
And news. Jokes and news.
No, I go Instagram for news. I
Okay.
like try to get my algorithm. Like Instagram is just like perfectly what my brain wants now. I just don't follow anything that would be garbage now. People get angry.
Ben Crawford recommended that I follow Freddie Gibbs, and
Freddie Gibbs is a
Ben-
great follow, bro. Freddie Gibbs just got jumped
Yeah.
in Buffalo by West Side Gun and got his
prayers for
chain
Gibbs.
snatched.
Prayers for Gibbs right now. He's down bad.
God, no, that guy is so funny, and his Twitter is hilarious. But like the difference between my posts and my likes on, if you go through my Twitter, it's mostly just running posts, or like every once in a while I'll retweet something stupid, or like calling out a coach that's out of his mind.
Oh,
And
that
then
is,
my
that is one of
likes-
our favorite territories of yours on Twitter.
And then my likes are just dumb memes.
Well, if you
It
want a
is
good Twitter follow at Shay on Twitter.
Yeah.
Shay bought the username to get the name Shay.
Yep.
It's just Shay.
SHEA.
He found the guy, hunted him down. Says his Twitter was started. What year does it say your account
Yeah,
was
no,
started?
he started in 2007. He was at like the South by Southwest, like where they released Twitter. They like announced it, and he just made one there. And
Now our buddy has that Shay. He's followed by Barack Obama.
yeah, it's just
Yeah, swear to
We're
God.
friends.
Swear to God, go look at who follows Shay. Barack Obama follows Shay. I swear on my life, Barack Obama follows Shay on Twitter.
Yep.
My favorite account that I don't follow, that I just get a bunch of stuff from, is Drill, because it's just nonsense. It's not even funny. It's just ruined my sense of humor. Absolutely ruined my sense of humor.
Twitter can be a
But-
dark, funny place. It's not
It
like
is,
Instagram's more of a cute,
Yeah.
funny place. Twitter can get pretty dark and weird.
Oh yeah. But no, like I'll get a bunch of running stuff on both of them, which is nice, but then I'll just get dumb videos on Instagram, and I send them to all my friends. Like I use that. I forget to post on Instagram just because I spend most of my time sending stuff to my friends in just group chats.
That's
It's-
funny.
Yeah.
So something I think a lot of runners definitely have it, is a person they want to beat? And I know we talked about Abdi before, but is there anyone specifically that you want to beat? You're like, I want to check that name off the box, or I want to get one back, or something like that.
I mean, pretty much anybody I line up with. I know everybody. I know I gotta beat Brian Fay now. Like
Yeah,
after Chicago or not Chicago, after California, and I gotta come back and beat like Colin Cooper because everybody knows that they dragged me through a PR mile, and it's like I gotta show that I'm just as good as them
I
now.
like that.
Yeah.
There we go. We're
And
stepping up with
yeah,
it.
Sidious Mag hyped up the Nagoose beat Beadlescomb race, and the 3K wasn't anything that I wanted. Coming off that mile was a different feeling. I think my biggest mistake there was just not going to the front and trying to run it, like
Yeah.
run the whole thing from the front. But anyways, it wasn't a good race. For me, I don't think Yard thinks it's a good race for him either. But yeah, there's a lot of guys I want to beat. I mean, Fisher and Chalima would be fun. Woody Kincaid.
Just let's get them all
Yeah.
now. Let's get Kipchoge out here.
Just
Just line them up.
everybody.
Just line them up on the wall right now for Morgan.
Yeah.
He's coming for everyone. Everyone, let that be known. If
Yeah.
you run,
No,
Morgan wants to beat you.
the craziest person I've ever raced was absolutely Woody Kincaid in that trial, in the final at the trials, because I'm pretty sure I passed him 4 different times.
So does that say he's
And
crazy,
I
or does that
wasn't-
say you're crazy?
No, because I never moved back. I started in the very back, and then I wound up in 6th, and I never, like, I think my highest place was 5th, and I don't think I was dropping back a lot, but I passed him like 4 different times. And I watched the 10K, and I think he did the same thing, just back and forth. I'm like, dude,
Yeah, he's a
how do
crazy
you do
racer.
this?
Yo-yos.
Yeah.
What was the biggest lesson, maybe on the track or off the track, that you took from the trials last year?
Don't follow Woody Kincaid. Like, yeah, don't try to start out in first, that or even 4th. Like my NCAA outdoor was bad, because I just went straight behind Cooper and tried to. I thought that was far enough back that I could get out of the stuff, but I really had somebody on my heels like the whole time. Wound up getting cut off pretty hard by Grijalva just because like I stuck my nose so far up front that everybody was fighting for the lead at the end. Um, yeah, no, I think the trials is like, oh yeah, it's best to start near the back
Yeah, and
and
slide up.
work your way up.
Interesting.
Like
I like the play.
I really learned that lesson at NCAA's, tried it out in the trials, and I think yeah, that was number one lesson. And also I belong there. I think that was important.
Yeah, kind of walking out with that, just that sense of like I deserve to be here kind of thing. Like these aren't the people I look up to anymore. They're now my competitors. I'm sure that was
Yeah.
probably a weird thing to notice when you're stepping on the track there. And it's like these runners that I've looked at for the last 5 years who I've almost idolized, I now have to go get them right now.
Oh yeah, I definitely idolized him. Like absolutely. I still was fanboying over him after the race. No, I loved it. It was really funny though, because everybody was like walking the line, super serious, like deadpan poker face. And my friends and like my athletic trainer, who they didn't let in, they just wouldn't let him in the meet. He got a ticket, and like everybody was on the backstretch like screaming, and I just walked up and like, hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for coming. And everybody else is just straight to the line. I'm loving it. So I think it's really important. I learned I race best when I'm just enjoying the atmosphere, having a good time.
Yeah.
And yeah, just enjoying the race. I took that into cross nationals. I took that into Chicago, Milrose. I took that into Milrose, and like, it's not that I'm just, oh, lucky to be here, happy to be here. I'm going to work, but I'm going to enjoy the whole atmosphere. I'm going to enjoy every part of it. And yeah, I think that takes some pressure off, but also it motivates me.
So this is kind of what you just said, but like, so before COVID, you run 13:31 at Iowa State. COVID happens, and what do you do? Where do you go for the next year before next season?
I just like, I think I cut to like one workout a week. And then I drove DoorDash, and then
I did that too. Yeah.
absolutely put running on the back burner. Like, I just went for runs. I stopped keeping track of my mileage real seriously. I think I went from 80 to 95 miles a week just because I was bored. and the weather was beautiful. Like I lived out in the middle of nowhere, so it was all dirt roads. I worked in a lab, so I went virtual. I had a bunch of time on my hands, and yeah, I kind of learned to take it less seriously. Um, Focused on, if I felt something popping up injury wise, it was like just take care of it right off the bat. And I didn't get injured at all. It was really nice. I upped my mileage, and then towards the end of the summer, I went from one workout a week back to two. Kept the same mileage, just up the intensity a little bit. Stopped driving DoorDash as much. And yeah, I just really turned into a hobby jogger for a good 3 months, and it was nice. It was awesome.
Not side note, just complete switch up. What's your favorite movie?
God, I haven't like actually sat down and watched a movie in so long. Um, if I say Forrest Gump, is that too?
Do you experience, hold on. Do you get this too, where like every person ever thinks it's really funny anytime you run past to be like, run, Forrest, run. Like all the way down to my family members. And it's just like, we hear that.
Yeah, it's not funny.
5 days a week. It's not funny. What do you think?
The last time I heard that was Sunday in Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's
I ran
brutal.
I ran by like a train station, and some lady was outside yelling it, and I just like looked and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You're also dating yourself if you say run, Forrest, run to someone. Like that is not a new running insult. We just get called the worst of slurs when we run now, but instead,
oh yeah,
now that's what it used to be like.
God, or if you're wearing like half tights, just like some random mom just rolls down her window and cat calls you.
Yeah, I'll take that, dude. That's fine.
That is better. But the very kind and funny homeless man that occupies the corner up here once told me I looked like a woman that had just run past him. So
nice.
I don't know. My half tights.
We got some really. Lansing has like the nicest homeless people. They're all super motivational. Yeah, we run by them. Like there's two guys. They're always sitting on this park bench at the trailhead. So we'll run like a mile from campus and then we'll hit this trailhead. There's always these two guys drunk off their ass. Go for it! I'm like, yes. At first I thought he was saying go Forest, but he was yelling go for it, go for it.
That's funny.
Like, I don't know what I'm going for, but yeah.
The occasional like nice person on the side of the street. Like we were shaking out in like Memphis for racing at Ole Miss, I think, and we were running past some guy, and he just like belligerently drunk at like 8 a.m. starts like humming but very loudly the Rocky theme song. So just doing the whole thing all the way through as we ran past.
Absolutely, homeless people are the nicest people to run by, at least here. Like I've never had a homeless person yell anything bad. My coach got chased by a homeless woman in Eugene. She was chasing him and yelling, "You want to beat my ass?"
Oh my God.
And he was just on a run, and like she started chasing him. But no, the nicest people, the people that I find most motivating, are absolutely the homeless people.
I will
here.
agree.
Or just people that are drunk on the street. I don't know if they're homeless.
Either way, I don't even want to say that people are homeless because they could just be hanging out. This is how they go about their day.
Just vibing, yeah.
Yeah. There's this one guy
that
always out front of the CVS here. I walk in with my girlfriend. He like asked for money. I was like, I got you on the way out. So I get him on the way out. We're walking out, and he's like, "Damn, you got a bad sister, man." And I was like, it's not my cousin. My girlfriend's not my cousin. But I was like, no, it's my cousin. He's like, damn, we both know that's not your cousin, man. And then we just both laughed. It was so funny. It was really funny.
Yeah, no, I feel bad for assuming that these people are homeless, but like they're just drunk on the street in the middle of the day and super chill.
I'm very happy we got your opinion on homeless people running past them.
That's going to be the title of
that
this
is
thing.
the content that we need today. Okay, you want to get into a little game?
Let's do a game.
Okay, we'll go with the traditional this or that. So I'll ask both you two. Pick one or the other. All right, so Morgan will go first every time. Morgan, Powerade or Gatorade?
Powerade.
Powerade, Shay.
We're Powerade school, so Powerade.
Gatorade?
But I like Gatorade better, yes.
I don't think it matters if we're Powerade's cool. You could say it. We're fine.
No, I know, but like the bottle's
some
cool.
Powerade, it's a cooler bottle.
Yeah.
Some Powerade is good. Like a blue Powerade can be pretty good, but like for casual use or like post-workout, nothing's better than ice cold Gatorade.
Gatorade's consistent, with their flavors.
Yeah. Okay.
I swear, if I had like a Gatorade contract lined up and I just ruined it. No, I couldn't imagine that. No, so it's funny, we're like a Coke school. So our calves are all Powerade stuff, and
Hmm.
then our athletics is Gatorade.
Wow, that's
And
interesting.
I don't really care, but Powerade's cheaper, so I always buy Powerade.
Yeah, it is cheaper. Some are better. It's easy.
I think you can see the Gatorade tub in the
I can
background
see
Yeah,
right
I
it.
now.
The
see it.
orange at the little bit like
You can
yellow there.
definitely see it.
That's funny.
Just ignore it.
Again, we hope you know how many deals lined up that we're ruining right now. But
Well, I don't
given,
anymore.
yeah, I mean, I don't know how this next question is going to affect one, but given that we're both Nike schools, that's how I want to preface this one. Are you Pegasus guy or an Infinity guy? Or something else? Are you a wild card?
I'm a structure guy.
You're a struck guy? Oh, but they don't have structures anymore.
Old models.
I'm still
You're
getting
still
them.
pulling the
I
old
don't ask
models?
questions.
Okay.
I think they just released a new structure actually.
Yeah, they were bringing them back. Remember they used to have the Odysseys? Remember the Odysseys? The Odysseys
never
were
wore
soft.
them.
I never
but,
wore
like,
them.
No.
They were like casual.
The lunar glides. That's what I.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
lunar
We had
glides.
teammates wearing lunar glides.
It's
Those
fun.
guys
Those are
were
good. Those flynet
different.
their glides were good.
Shay, are you a
Wait, do
peg?
you have anybody that runs in the Infinity Reacts?
I do.
Oh, a lot of people.
Yeah,
You
most of our team does.
Yeah.
People are wearing the Invincibles now too, which is interesting.
We had so Nike came to us and they were like, "Hey, we want to add the Infinity Reacts to your options for shoes," and they just tested a bunch of people who wanted a shoe like that, and almost all of them wound up with a stress injury. So
Oh,
like,
really?
You
they
gotta
don't
break
issue
them in too. That's
I
important.
love them. It's been the only Nike trainer that I've really like consistently used that I've liked. But
I'm a big shoes or shoes guy. Um, and if you find something you like I just wore it. I think I wore Brooks in high school, like really really high support Brooks, and I went to a shoe store and I'm like, this is what I wear in Brooks. I'm going to a Nike school. Um, what should I wear? And the guy's like, structures, and I said okay, and then now I get structures.
I had an old teammate. He didn't believe in mileage on shoes. So like he ran at our school for 4 years and we ran a good amount of mileage. So he never believed that like mileage would ruin the shoe. So he would put like upwards of 2,000 miles on a pair of pegs to where his feet were like completely molded into them. Also was the smartest kid I've ever met at the same time. So I thought that was a nice little dichotomy there, is that he didn't believe in the mileage on shoes.
Yeah. I
But
think we all had that one kid that just wore his pegs into the ground.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Did they not just disintegrate?
They were just
Like-
completely molded to his feet and so dirty and tattered and stuff. But I mean, it worked, and he never got a stress injury.
How many years did he have them for?
He maybe got like a few pairs all of high school.
We had a kid in high school who said he put 2,000 miles on a pair of shoes just because he didn't want to buy another pair, but he didn't do it on purpose. It was just like, this is what I have, this is what I got to use. I think my standard is like I go until it's flat, like I land on my toes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or on the ball of my feet. So like as soon as that's flat, I just toss them and that's it.
You can usually
Is that a
feel them
good
when they're
metric?
dead.
I don't know.
Okay. Next one. Are you a milk in coffee or just black coffee guy?
I have no issue drinking like pre-mixed, just off the shelf coffee. Like the Dunkin' ones or like the Starbucks ones that you could just get off the shelf. But most of the time when I brew my own coffee, I'm just too lazy.
What about you, Shay?
Yeah,
And I
it's
just
black
grab it.
for
I'm like,
me.
I'm out
Yeah.
the door. Like, go.
Yeah. I don't need milk.
I see
bro.
I see those little
You kidding me?
Starbucks cups out, just straight black.
Yeah.
Mine depends, but I like black coffee. If the coffee's
What's
good,
yours?
black.
Yeah.
If the coffee's like good, real coffee, black. But if it's like cheap,
Yeah.
crappy coffee, then like sometimes I might have to put a little cream.
It also
in there.
depends. Am I like drinking this to go for a run in like an hour and a half?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
am I like enjoying my day right now?
Yeah, big difference.
So, coffee or espresso? That's the real question.
Espresso all the
Coffee.
way.
I like sitting enjoying my coffee, just relaxing with it.
I like.
If I got to go somewhere, I'll get a couple shots of espresso. But I'm a 5-hour energy guy, so 5-hour energy. Anyone watching this right now, you're the first first sponsor I would ever want is 5-hour energy. Just putting that out there. But no, I'm a 5-hour energy guy. I used to be an addict, but I'm in remission.
Nice.
Unless it's race day, then it doesn't count.
Are you an espresso guy?
Oh yeah, on race day especially. I love espresso. My
Yeah.
favorite thing is like wherever we go, I just find a bunch of coffee shops and see if they can make like these dumb drinks I find online. It's like dumb espresso drinks I find online. Most of them are like the same thing with a bunch of different names, like a cortado or a cortadito or God, I forgot whatever this place I just went called it, but like they were like a triple mixer foam thing, and I'm like, that's a cortado.
Okay. Well, number one, I'm bringing you a 5-hour energy when I see you at regionals. So you want to just go jog through regionals right now? You got to pop a 5 before you take an espresso. I promise you, it works wonders. It's like jet fuel. But our next question: Porsche or Beamer?
Oh, BMW.
What do you got?
Yeah, I'm Porsche.
I just get a golden, one of the golden M3s.
Yeah, like pre. Are you pre in your golden MG right there? Pre. That's what pre.
No, like the championship yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the E46s. If I could get one of those, like low mileage, super low mileage, I don't care what Porsche you're putting in my driveway.
Okay, what about besides the M3? We take M3 out of just the model thing. What are you going?
911, any 911
Yeah,
model.
okay.
I mean, there's like 30 of them, so.
There you go.
Like a GT3, absolutely. I love it.
There's one down the street from us.
Yeah, there's one right here.
Yeah, you can rent it actually.
My friend had an old GT3, beautiful car.
Yeah, it's a beast.
I think I'm gonna go Porsche. I don't know what model either, but I don't know. Really nice BMW. I'm not a big car model guy. I just like the way cars look, and I tend to not remember what they are.
It's an SUV.
Yeah, I need a big car. I'm a big guy. I need a big car. But,
oh God, don't get the Cayenne. Get an X5. The X5 looks so much better.
I would get an X5 before I get a Cayenne. I wouldn't get a Cayenne. Cayenne's like a wealthy mom car, and that's
okay.
Not the vibe. Now we're just, I'm gonna substitute Porsche out as a whole category, and we're just gonna go Range Rover, and that's all.
All right, I'm gonna stick with Subaru. So
Subaru.
Yes.
Okay.
The massive engine swap.
Shay will just be rolling down in the Subaru. Okay, to wrap our episode up here, we do a little thing where you two will compete for pride on just a question, okay? So half of the question is going to be you two, other half's going to be the
running trivia?
Listener one for a shirt. It's running trivia. We do it every episode to wrap things up here.
Oh,
and I try to skew it a little bit so the guest might have a better shot. Okay, so the fastest mile ever run in Michigan, in the state of Michigan. Your guys' question is who did it? The listener question is what was the time?
Kevin O'Sullivan.
No.
Nick Willis.
There you go. Morgan won that one.
350.
Something. That's going to be the listener question. We'll bleep it out. 353.5 he ran.
I was going to say 354.
Yeah, 2014. He said, I was exhausted, but I was in the lead in front of my home crowd, and I couldn't relinquish it.
Was it an indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor. It was at the Michigan Track Classic.
That was the fastest. That was the fastest mile by a Michigan collegiate too.
Yeah.
So between Michigan State, Eastern, Grand Valley and Saginaw Valley. Yeah.
Grand Valley's got a good team.
Grand Valley does have a really good team.
Yeah.
Look at their facilities. They should be D1. No reason they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
There's a controversial opinion. People are gonna have to wait the entire episode to hear.
There we go. My last thing, before we let you go, is there any runner in the NCAA or pro right now that you kind of draw inspiration from, that you look at them and you try to model anything you do off of them or you're inspired by?
I do have to say, Abdi Nur's form, especially at the end of a race, is immaculate.
Yeah, it's flawless. It's so bouncy and smooth. Yeah.
It's very, very hard to tell when he's tired. Like, normally I'm pretty good at reading people. I think he tends to give it away on hills in cross country. But other than that guy just looks invincible.
Yeah. I don't think he gets tired. I think that's the real answer to that question.
Oh, he gets tired, but it's very hard to tell.
We're going to see how tired he gets in about a month here. There we go.
I hope we can see how tired he gets.
Well, thank you so much for hopping on the pod with us. Morgan, it was a great time, as usual.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
It was a lot of fun.
Good luck this season.
Yeah. Wendy, hold on. We'll do our little outro real quick.
Yeah.
And then